This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com.
Hi, I'm Helene Woods, and this is Let's Quilt, episode number 30. Joining me today is my friend Robin. Hi, Robin. How are you?
I'm good, Helene. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Robin today is going to talk a little bit more to us about her table topper that she designed that we're going to be making. It's called Mexicali Rose.
Well, to get started, we're going to make the strips or use the strips. If you can find the jelly roll, this is terrific. If you cannot find the jelly roll, we're going to show you how you can take the yardage that you have chosen for your table topper and how you can cut the strips so that we can make the blocks, put it all together, and have your wonderful table topper. Okay, we're going to show you how you can cut 2.5-inch strips from your chosen yardage. First of all, this is what I do. It's my own personal method, and if it works for you, terrific. I take my fabric and I lay it out and fold it up so it's nice. Fold it in half so it's a nice, workable size. I like to use the markings on my ruler. I know for sure that these are accurate markings, so for me it's much better and more accurate if I use my ruler. So I have laid my fabric out and I'm going to take my ruler and lay it down so I have 1, 2, and then the half mark right here on the edge. I think you can see that. 1, 2, and a half. I'm going to go ahead and put my hand down on the ruler, and I use my little finger here to secure the ruler so it doesn't scoot on me. Pick up your rotary cutter and lay it down and just go ahead and cut that strip. So for each quarter yard that you have chosen, you're going to want to cut 2 of these 2.5-inch strips. The rest here we're just going to put away for later because we'll use those when we do our roses later on. But for each block we need 2 2.5-inch strips of each color that you have chosen. Okay, the first thing I would like to do is lay out my strip, the lengthwise, and I need to trim off the selvage. You need to trim off the selvage because selvages will continue to shrink and it will not make for a very nice quilt after you wash it. So we're going to go ahead and line this up, and I want to make sure I get all of my selvage in there and just trim that off. And we're going to go ahead and just get rid of that. So at this point, I'm going to move this down on my cutting mat so it's all lined up. And the first strip we're cutting is 13.5 inches. So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then the half. So I take my ruler and lay that down on the half. Make sure everything is lined up. Once again, I have my finger secure so my ruler doesn't move, and cut my strip at 13.5 inches. The next strip is 9.5 inches, so we'll just scoot the strip back down. And once again, count down to the 9.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1/2. So once again, I'm going to lay my ruler down on the half mark. Make sure nothing is moved. If it's moved, stop and resecure it. Right on the half. And now we're going to move to our 4.5. So we'll scoot our strip down one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4 and the half. So this is our last strip we're going to need. So from each one of the fabrics that you have chosen, you will be cutting 2 2.5-inch strips. And from those strips, you should have then subcut 2 13.5-inch pieces, 2 9.5-inch pieces, and 2 4.5-inch pieces. Now you will have some left over, and I want you to just put that away along with the other piece till later. We can use it for binding, for roses, for all the other things that we're going to need to complete this.
Next, we're going to cut our background fabric. And Robin, you can show me here. This is what we're talking about, all of this white. So I'm going to take my piece of white fabric, I'm lay it down here, and I have folded it up. I have my selvages behind and my fold on the top. I'm going to straighten this just like we always do. There, now I'm going to measure over 8 3/4 inches. And that 3/4 one is sometimes hard to find. I've got it. There. We're going to need to cut 4 of these 8 3/4 strips from our 1 yard of fabric. Now we need to subcut our strips. I'm going to lay this out here, cut off my selvage just like we have previously. And then I'm going to measure over 8 3/4. Now, if each of the strips that we have cut previously, we will get 4 squares out of each one. So I'm going to measure that one, and then I'm going to come down and do one more. When you're done cutting and subcutting these out, you're going to have 16 of the 8 3/4 inch squares.
So next we need to prepare our background squares for a diagonal line. First thing we need to do is take your square right side up, lay it down on your workspace on point so that you have it top and bottom points just like this. I'm going to take the 1/4 inch line on my ruler, which is this line right here, and we're going to lay that line directly on the tip of the point here. And do the same on the opposite corner. What we're doing is marking a 1/4 inch that is just right of the center diagonal. And I'm going to take a marking pen. Doesn't matter what it is, it's not going to show. So you can even use a pen if you like, and just draw a line on that 1/4 inch line on your square. And you're going to need to make that mark on each one of your 16 background squares.
Now we're going to start making our rose templates. Robin, can you show us what we should be doing?
Well, the first thing we're going to do is take your template sheet, which is on the website, and we need to transfer this and make the actual paper templates. Now there's 2 ways that you can trace your templates. The first way is to take your template and tape it up to a window or a sliding glass door, and then take your freezer paper or your other paper, put it over the top, and then trace your shapes out on that. The other way is if you have a light box. So you lay your template on your light box and secure it so it doesn't scoot on you. So just take a couple of pieces of a masking tape, and then take your freezer paper, lay it over the top, add a couple of pieces of tape here. There. All right, and then we're going to take our Sharpie, and we're going to go ahead and just trace around our shapes. And don't forget to transfer your numbers, because that's going to correspond with how we put our rows together. So the particular one that I just traced was number 8, so just transfer that number onto your piece.
In our next episode, we're going to start sewing our blocks. So until then,